What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be taking this oversized t-shirt, I'm going to cut it into a crop muscle tee, and then I'm going to bleach dye it. I'm going to show you step by step the process that I use. So if you'd like to customize any t-shirts in your own wardrobe, you can see how I do it. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start off by cropping the bottom. I am very short, so for it to be the length I want it to be, I will end up having to cut some of the graphic off. But the one thing I definitely want to keep is this PBR logo. I want people to know that it's a professional bull riding shirt. So I'm going to cut it just right under that PBR. I got this ruler at Joann's so I can draw a straight line. Typically, I would just use whatever I had laying around, a piece of cardboard or whatever. You don't need a fancy ruler. I just thought maybe it was time to upgrade. So I'm going to line this up right under that logo. And I have this white pencil. I got this at Joann's also. It is specifically for fabric, so it'll wash off. But typically I would just use a regular white colored pencil or even a Sharpie if that shows up well enough for you to be able to see where you're cutting. But I definitely have to draw a line before just going in with the scissors, because otherwise I would just completely mess it up. I can't cut or draw a straight line for the life of me. And make sure the line is even. If it's not perfectly even, it won't make a huge difference, because when you wash the shirt, the end of it will curl up a little bit. So it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you want to try to make it as straight as you possibly can. So I drew my line, and now I'm going to cut. Just one big thing to remember is to have the t-shirt as flat as possible, because if you have a wrinkle in there, it will create this weird jagged edge, and then you'll spend forever trying to even it out, and you'll just probably make it worse. At least I know I do. Maybe you're more talented than me, but I'm just not good at it. And then you just go on in with your scissors and cut along that line you drew. Pretty easy. I don't feel like I need to explain this that much, but just in case. Okay, so now that I've got the bottom cut off, I'm going to do the sleeves. I'm just going to cut the sleeves off, and usually how I do this is I will go in with a ruler and decide how much I want to cut off. So started at the seam of the sleeve, and I probably want to go in, I'd say about right there, about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to draw a line at 2.5 inches. Now, you want to draw a line going with the curve of the sleeve, and you want to end like not far from where the armpit actually is. Otherwise, your shirt's going to be way down on your side. So I just freehand it and kind of draw a curved line to the armpit. And then I'll do the other side before I cut so that I can make sure my lines look fairly even. So once again, I'll just go in 2.5 inches, draw a line. And then curve it down to the armpit. Just kind of follow that natural curve that the t-shirt has anyway. And I'd say those look pretty even. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut along that line. Once again, make sure it's as flat as possible. You don't want any wrinkles in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, unless you want it to be perfect. Now I'm going in to the other sleeve and just cutting along that line that I drew. All right. And there is our finished product. So the next step, I'm going to bleach dye it. And I feel like maybe with the colors that this graphic are, after I bleach dye it, it may look, I don't know, it may not pop as much, because most likely this black t-shirt, when I bleach dye it, it will pull red and brown. But that's okay. It'll make it look distressed, maybe a little more vintage, a little more rock and roll. Who knows? But anyway, I'm excited to see how it turns out. So let's start that process. Okay, so now I'm going to tie my shirt up for the bleach dyeing. There are like 20 million different tie-dye patterns. Like, just Google tie-dye patterns, and I'm sure you'll find one that you like. But I'm just going to do a simple crumple. So this one's the easiest. That's why I'm going to do it. And I like the way it turns out usually. So you just like literally crumple it in different places. Just kind of smoosh it all together. I got a little rogue piece here. But you just kind of crumple it into a ball. The tighter you get it, the less it'll be dyed, and vice versa. Got my rubber bands here. And you just do kind of like a pie shape. Just make sure it's nice and tight, or loose if you want more of it dyed. Do it looser. And ta-da! I got a nice little t-shirt ball here. Now it's time to throw it in some bleach. All right, so now we're gonna do the actual bleach dyeing part. You're definitely want some rubber gloves because bleach does not feel good on your skin. And also, do not wear clothes that you care about. I repeat, do not wear clothes that you care about. So, for the bleach dyeing, it's 1 part bleach, 1 part water. So I have 2 cups of hot water here. And I've got this big bowl. You'll want a bucket or a bowl or something. If this was a nice day, I would be doing this outside, but it's rainy and super yuck, so I'm doing it in my bathroom sink instead. So I have 2 cups of hot water. Gonna put that in the bowl. Then 2 cups of bleach. Pretty simple. My cat loves the smell of bleach, so she's gonna be in here going crazy in a minute, I can only assume. So now, I got my 2 cups of bleach. Pour that in the bowl. And then, super simple, just take your t-shirt that you've wrapped up and put it in the mixture. You can watch it usually lighten. Some people say 5 minutes. It may not take that long. I've had t-shirts take 2 minutes to bleach. So just keep your eye on it. Some fabrics will take longer. If you're bleach dyeing a hoodie, obviously the fabric is thicker and it will take longer. But pay attention to it because if you leave it on too long, bleach can harm the actual fabric. So you don't want it to disintegrate. You just want it to bleach a little bit. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes and see how it turns out. Okay, so I let it sit for about 5 minutes, maybe not quite. And it lifted really well, really quickly. So let's untie it and see how it looks. Ooh, got bleach in my face. Okay, so like I imagined would happen, it pretty much bleached out the entire bowl. You can't even see the bowl anymore, but you can still see the PBR. And here's the back. And then I'm gonna rinse it with cold water to stop the bleaching process. And then you want to wash it in the washing machine, probably on its own, so you don't risk bleaching any of your other clothes, and cold water as well. So there we are. And now I'm going to go wash it. And you'll get to see the finished product when I complete my look. I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out, other than not being able to see the bowl. But like I said, I kind of imagined that would happen. You have to be a little wary about browns and reds when you're doing bleach dyeing. But it's kind of cool. It's like a ghost bowl. All right, I'm gonna go wash this now. So I just went and put my shirt in the washing machine. And I don't know if you can see all these little bleach spots on my shirt. And the cat hair, which is inevitable. But That is why I say don't wear clothes that you like when you're dealing with bleach. Because you may think you didn't get any bleach on you, but it like gets up in the air, I think, and bleaches your clothes. So once again, don't wear clothes you care about. Otherwise you'll be sad. And nobody wants that. But I feel like it was worth it. I had fun doing this. And I'm excited to wear my new shirt.